All right. Hmm. So I've really been reviewing more of that embodying metaphor. And I've had so much fun just playing with this type of a meditation. And so I'm going to keep playing with it. It's not strictly mindfulness, and yet we can incorporate some of those mindfulness skills in here. Again, with mindfulness, we really are just paying attention. At the very basis of it, it's all about how we pay attention. And so even just using some of these visualizations or metaphors as a way of tuning back in to pay attention to what we're experiencing in that moment, even if it is the experience of metaphor. And so I'm going to still keep weaving in that, really paying attention to your physical sensations, your emotions, your thoughts. But I'm having a lot of fun playing with these metaphors. And so I've got another one for you guys today, and we'll see how it goes for you. So I'm going to just jump right in and we'll start practicing and have a longer practice today. So that's all the introduction. We will begin. Hmm. Always beginning with the breath. That trains our minds of like, oh yes, this is what we're doing. That shifting very at the very deep level of your brain. Yes, starting with the breath. I know what's about to happen right now. Noticing the inhale and the exhale. Maybe even being just a little bit more deliberate with the inhale and the exhale, so you can really feel the movement for a minute. Noticing the air at the nose as you breathe. Those little muscles in the cheeks, in the upper palate, even in the back of the throat as it opens for the inhale, relaxes for the exhale. Following the breath down into the chest. Noticing the movement of the chest today, right now, with this breath. What do you notice? What first grabs your attention? It might be your shoulders. It might be your breastbone. It might be your upper back. It might be the ribs underneath your arms. Just beginning to notice the movement, noticing the breath, the way the body moves around the breath. And the ribs expand and contract. Maybe noticing that little bit of pulling right there where the ribs meet your breastbone, right there in the front. And the chest opens to the front with the inhale, relaxes with the exhale. Beginning to notice that line of the diaphragm, and there along the edges, the bottom of your ribs. Feeling that diaphragm pull down, pulling down and pressing down on the belly with the inhale. And then just floating back up with the exhale. And beginning to notice the breath in the belly, and the rise and fall of the belly as you breathe. You may notice just a little bit of movement in the belly, or you might notice the whole belly filling with breath, and the pressure all the way down to your seat, to your hip bones. And then with the exhale, everything relaxes and floats back up. Maybe noticing that breath filling your whole torso, from your hip bones all the way up to your collarbones. Noticing the movements in the spine as you breathe, in your low back, middle back, upper back. Noticing that expansion with the inhale and the up and down movement. Exhale, breath comes back to the center. The front to back movement, the chest opens to the front with the inhale. With the exhale, comes back to the center. And side to side movement, the ribs open to the sides. And then with your exhale, it all relaxes back to the center. And then that checking in, what physical sensations are here right now. Just that quick noticing, scanning through from the top of your head all the way down to your feet. Nothing to change or fix. You don't have to figure out what's going on, just noticing, oh, that's here today. And this physical sensation is present. And then from there, noticing the thoughts, noticing the content of the thoughts, what you're thinking about. Maybe noticing the type of thoughts you're having. And they're planning, future thoughts, past thoughts, daydreaming thoughts, judging thoughts. There's no good or bad, right or wrong. It's all just thinking. Just noticing thinking. And then noticing the emotions that are present. Just simply what is here today. Might be nothing, might be a lot, might be very mild in intensity or extreme intensity. Again, just taking inventory, neither good nor bad, right or wrong, just emotions. And then from here, beginning on our journey of beginning to embody metaphor, and today playing with this image of a mountain. So if you can, in your imagination, letting yourself almost as if you're all the way up in space and you're looking down at the earth, and you're getting closer and closer, and you see the earth beneath you. You see the land, the water, and you see a mountain peak. It's the perfect mountain peak for you. It could be a tropical island. It could be a snow-capped mountain. It could be a mountain full of lush vegetation. It could be a stony, craggy peak. It could be a volcano. Just noticing your mountain there. And you're coming closer and looking at it. You can see it. Like, oh yes, that's my mountain right there. Noticing the size of it, its shape. Noticing how it rests on the earth, almost as if it sinks down into the earth around it. From this view, is noticing the immensity, the density, the enormity of this mountain just there. You might also notice, as you're looking at this wide angle view of this earth that is pushing up through the earth, this mountain extending up into the sky. So even as there's that density and pushing down and grounding down, there's also this sense of lifting up out of the earth, pushing up all the way into the sky to its very tip. Getting closer, seeing more of it. Maybe hearing whatever is in the environment. The sounds that go with this mountain. Whether it's birds or wind or rumblings. Getting closer still so you can start to touch it, feel it, noticing the texture of it. Whether it's hand on bare rock or touching the trees, the leaves, the bark, the earth, the dirt. Noticing the temperature, whether it's warm or cool. Or cold, glacier ice, or heat burning hot of lava right beneath the surface. Simply noticing, getting closer still, down into it, down to the very edge of it, the dirt, the rock, almost as if you can see right into the rock, into the dirt. Almost as if you can narrow in even further past the dirt, past the shape of the rocks, down into the actual structure, the structure of the molecules, the structures of the atoms, feeling the charge of the electrons and the protons spinning around in space. There's so much space and charge. There's a vastness of space within this molecule. Almost that dancing in and out, seeing the structure of a rock, the crystalline structure of it, being made up of this charge and space. the enormity, the density of this mountain, all of it coming down to this space, this floating, this electromagnetic pressure where everything is just kind of bouncing and light and expanded. Feeling the mountain, this weight, this density, this unmovability, all made up of this space, this structure of space. And then beginning to become that, feel into it. Noticing your feet, rooting down into the earth, the very base of the mountain, going all the way down underneath the surface, into the earth. Feeling your body settling down, that immovability, held by the earth, pushing up from the earth. Your legs sink down, your seat roots down, and yet that rooting down, that heaviness, that density is space. And then noticing as you go up your back, your hips, your sit bones, your low back, becoming that mountain from the base, rooting high, feeling your torso embody that place of solidness, of immovability, and yet it's all made up of space and vastness. And just the dancing of electrons way down there at the very core of it all. Moving up higher your body, your arms becoming the sides of the mountain. Feeling the edges of the mountain, again, whether it's dirt or rock or vegetation or snow. Feeling that on your skin, on your fingertips. Your fingertips become that. Higher and higher, all the way up, extending up to the very peak of the mountain, all the way through the roof of your head, feeling the very tip of yourself extending out into the sky. Just noticing that sense of grounded down and lifted up. Just here, a stillness, and yet that dynamic space dance right there at the center of it all. letting yourself be this, noticing the one who is sitting here in a chair, noticing the one who can be this mountain, noticing the one that can feel this right here in this moment. Nothing to do, nothing to change or fix, simply present, just present, awake, here. And from this place, again, returning to that scanning through your body, noticing the physical sensations that are here in this moment. Noticing pressure, tension, relaxation, tingling, or warmth, or coolness. There might even be felt senses, more that sense of expanded or contracted, or dense or light, or that little bit of movement or stillness. And then noticing the thoughts, noticing how the pattern of thinking is now in this moment. There's no right or wrong, good or bad. The thinking doesn't need to be in any particular way. Simply noticing, thinking, and then noticing the emotions present. What feelings are here? Simply allowing. And then taking all the awareness back to the breath, back to the inhale and the exhale. Being fully present in this breath, just this breath, this inhale and exhale. Beginning to extend your awareness out around you, taking in the sounds of the room around you. Perhaps wiggling your fingers and toes after sitting so still. Beginning to shift that awareness back to sitting here in this chair, in this space, in this moment, but maybe still a mountain. taking a few more breaths. And then when you feel ready, opening your eyes.